we looked at it back in 2005, and economic conditions were just not up there yet, but we knew we needed to do something.
Right.
And
our biggest challenge was the financial end of it, was coming to the realization that, you know, we needed to understand that the investment we were making wasn't just in the software, but it was in our inventories and in our customer satisfaction and everything that came with the WMS system. And once we realized that that's where we were getting our return back, and not so much just that initial outlay of cash, it was an easy decision to make. But it took us a long time to get there and a lot of research.
well, we started out, of course, using a consulting company came in and mentioned a couple warehouse management systems, yours being one of them. I think that's when we started the initial investigation about warehouse management systems. I got in contact with you. You provided us information. We took a look at that information, based it on what our business needs were at the time. And I think what we came to the realization that we had to compare softwares against our base software that we were running at the time, which was Retalix. So
right, and we decided to make some visits.
Yeah.
We went around with, you know, with Lyle's help, checking out different places that had the software that he was trying to sell us at the time,
Right.
and the software that was that we had in house, which was Retalix, and we compared the two, did a lot of analysis, and seeing them on site was helpful. Seeing how they actually worked in someone else's operation allowed us to make a decision. And at the same time, we were building and designing our new facility, which that helped in the process also, because we were able to see what WMS was going to help us with that transition, with that move coming into the new building, that again would give the least amount of disruption to our customers once we made that move. So that played a lot into our decision-making process.
we started implementation at the end of 2007. We started implementation, and then we went live in March of 2008 in our old facility. We made a decision as we traveled that we wanted to invest in some temporary setup in our old facility to get the learning curve, get ahead of the learning curve a little bit. So we implemented that, and we went live in March with the help of Roxanne, and we were able to put in basic receiving and put away and replenishment in our old facility, which again helped us get prepared for a move that we knew we were going to be making at the end of towards the end of the year of 2008.
See, it was important to us for this move to go smooth. Other distributors in our area had done the same thing, and when they tried their move, they failed. And in several conversations with Lyle, we learned that his system could help us do this, help us move into the new facility, hopefully seamlessly is what we were sold, and that we would basically, our customers would not notice the move. And
I would
yeah,
say we
it was
accomplished
perfect.
that.
Yeah, it really was.
Get that accomplished.
We're glad we put it in place before the move, and that it helped us with the move and continues to help us today.
We selected the BFC system based on our experience of our host system and seeing how it was operating. We felt the BFC system was a little easier, user-friendly to our employees. We felt like just the training was going to be a lot simpler, and we felt real comfortable with the support.
Yeah, I think the staff from
staff and the support.
BFC was a big part of that. Yeah, the software was important, but we had to make sure that the people we were working with could get the job done for us, and we were comfortable with that. I'm confident that we would make the same decision today. I think that where we are, the savings that we've been realizing, the efficiencies we have in our warehouse, the pick rates, the air rate being down. I mean, not having huge inventory adjustments at year end, and not having to take that annual inventory are just huge savings. So there is no doubt in my mind we would make the same decision based on where we are today.
Yeah, without exception. To start, when we started training, it was relatively short. I know when we moved in here, there were several employees that had not had the opportunity to work with the system. And we were also utilizing other personnel on our move, and quite frankly, they picked up the system within hours, were able to start assisting us in receiving. Forklift operators, as far as the putaways, caught onto the system, with very, very minimal training.
Yeah, and then today we even talk about how quick it is, simple the process is for someone coming in, new hire. It used to take us weeks and weeks to have someone up to speed, and now we're talking days.
Right.
That they're out there picking orders and picking them as efficiently as the rest of the staff.
And I think the accuracy, of, because we are running the voice system as well, training someone, like Dave said, used to take hours, weeks to get them accurate in picking. And, today we can run them through, an hour worth of voice training. Setup takes a little bit longer, but once you get them on the system, and you monitor them, an hour to 2 hours, they're pretty much, able to function and work, very limited supervision, so very easy. Phases, we started with the inbound and put away. Looking at it, we felt like in the facility that we started the process in, it was really the best part to get started with. Our old facility wasn't quite designed to do any further enhancements with voice picking or whatnot. It was the receiving and put away was important at the time to get training and get started with.
It also had a lot to do with the move, because we wanted to make sure that we had the systems in place, again, to make that move as seamless as possible. I think if we're in agreement that if we were here and starting over, we probably would have gone in a different direction, but maybe starting with voice or something else first.
Selection, yeah.
And then going the other direction. But right now, looking back, it was the best move for us, was putting that piece in before the move.
The return on investment is important on both put away, receiving, replenishment, but there's also an impact with picking and accuracy of picking, and that return on investment we found to be very substantial. Right. When we went to the picking. So again, looking at it, doing it over again, if we were in a new facility, I might look at putting in selection, just because of the return on investment it seems to come faster. Implementation overall was fairly simple. I think the guidance from BFC's support personnel leading us in the right direction, being able to basically answer questions before we actually ask them, is what we found. Right. To be helpful in the implementation part of it. There's work that has to be done prior to going live, just like with any system. But we found that most of our questions and concerns or direction needed was answered with a simple phone call, and rapid. I mean, we got rapid response.
And I think every business out there is going to be able to say that they have a unique portion of the way their operations flow. And we're no different. We do have a very unique portion of our business, and Lyle and his staff were willing to sit down with us, learn that aspect of our business, and help integrate that into their software so that our host system would work smoothly with what they were putting in place. So I think that played a big, important role too, is that the willingness to sit down and learn something that obviously they had no knowledge of before, and were able to take that and run with it. So that was very, very helpful to us.